All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm talking about 3 Seikos that I regret selling. You want to know what they are? Hold tight. All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm talking about 3 Seikos I regret ever getting rid of. Now, I was pulling out this old Seiko 5 because I'm going to do a video on the 7S26 movement, and I started thinking, man, there's some Seikos I wish I would have not gotten rid of, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So the first one, you'll never guess in a million years, is a Seiko Superior. Now, I bought this watch probably 2000, 2001, and I know I got it off of eBay. That's where I was buying my watches back then. And it probably wasn't over $100 because I know I did not spend over that on watches back then. So it was probably around 100, but I love the style of it, that royal oak look to it with that hex bezel. And then the dial was like a waffle cone texture to it. The date was in Arabic, so I thought that was cool. I'd never had a watch with a date in Arabic. It had English and Arabic. It was 40 millimeters, and it came with the 7S36 movement. It had a see-through case back, and it had this integrated bracelet that was integrated into the case and was pretty good quality. As I recall, I was like, this is a well-made watch, especially being essentially a Seiko 5. But that was my Seiko Superior. I had to do some digging on the internet to find a picture of the specific one, but here it is. Still wish I had that watch, but as things go, you need money, you sell the watches. Moving on was the Seiko Giagiaro that I had. Now, the story behind this watch, I didn't know it even existed until my brother, he went to the mall, some jewelry store, had one ordered. Then he told me that the salesperson said that Richard Petty, the race car driver, had just bought a whole bunch of them for his pit crew. I thought, oh man, that's really cool, but I didn't have the money to buy one brand new. So fast forward a couple years, my mom takes us on a cruise. I'm probably 15 years old, and we're in the Caribbean on a cruise. One of the islands we stop at, like St. Thomas or St. John's, can't remember, I walk into just one of those market jewelry stores, and sitting in the case is a brand new Seiko, some people call it the Speedmaster, Giagiaro, digital tachometer, right there in the case. You're like, yeah, so what? It was $50. So I was like, that was a big chunk of my spending money for the cruise, but I snatched that thing up. I love that thing. I just thought this was a true, legit driving watch. But unfortunately, years later, I sold it. But to have an all-original Speedmaster Giagiaro today, I think they go for about $500 in working condition. Would have been a great return on my investment, but I sold it. Anyway, moving on to the last one is the Seiko Orange Monster. And you're like, wait a minute, I got little skinny wrists, but I just love that dive watch, and I wore it all the time. You know, it just never left my wrist. I think I paid, I can almost be certain I paid $177. For some reason that sticks out in my mind, exactly what I paid for that watch. And you're like, well, that's not bad for, you know, the early 2000s, but it was a Gen 1. I should have never gotten rid of it. And I did sell it a while ago. You know, they had not gone up in price, but that was a Gen 1 Orange Monster Seiko, and I sold it. Would it be worth today if I spent $177 on it? So sadly, again, you need money, you sell the watches, and I regret selling that Gen 1 Orange Monster. What Seiko have you sold that you regret? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Guys, and as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.